Today I am at the Burnley FC training ground in Lancashire, England, and I am joined by Ebo, the Burnley FC Kitman, who has kindly invited me down to interview him today. Thank you very much for joining me, Ebo.
You're very welcome.
So let's start at the beginning. How did you get into football and what led you to the Kitman role?
Well, I've always been in football, for playing back in my younger days. And obviously sadly got a bad injury, had to stop playing, get into coaching, coached for many years, and then the job came up, the opportunity came up, to go into Clyde as kit manager, and I went, do you know what, I'll go and get a go, and lo and behold, I absolutely loved it, and this is why I'm sat here today, because it's just a new journey I've wanted to go on, and I've loved every minute of it so far.
Now, back to how I originally met you. You spent a few years at Clyde. What stands out most from your time there?
Clyde was a very, very good place to go at the time, and like I says, I can't thank everybody enough there, for the board, to the staff, to the players, and more importantly the fans. The fans were brilliant with me, made me feel like part of it and one of their own, and I've made friends for life through it and always keep in touch with them still to this day.
Of course, you moved from Clyde to Crawley and then on to, as of now, of course, Burnley. How did the moves come around?
Well, like I says, when I started doing the kitman role, I was always like, is this what I want to do? But then the more I done it, the more I started loving it and just like excelled in the position. And then I got to the stage where I was at Clyde, it was only part-time and I was still working a full-time job. And I just said to myself, do you know what, it's a lot of sacrifices, because I've obviously left family up the road and friends and moved sticks basically. But I decided to go for it, so that's how I ended up going down to Crawley Town. And again, a big thanks to them, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't have been sat here where I'm at now, for the opportunity they gave me. Was there for 6 months, and I always said to my family, my kids and my wife, that it was only going to be short term to get a better move closer to home or back in Scotland. And sure enough, 6 months later, the Burnley position came up. I applied for it and obviously got the job. So that's me been here since June, and absolutely love it.
Now, of course, it's fair to say that Burnley are a much bigger club than Clyde and Crawley, no disrespect to, of course, both clubs. But what are the differences now working with a bigger club? Of course, Burnley are now in the Premier League, one of the biggest leagues in the world.
You said it yourself, mate, it's the size of club. And no disrespect to any of my previous clubs, but it's just the club's huge. It's a Premier League status club. The facilities are amazing. The training ground, as you've seen today, it's enormous, and it's just what everybody dreams of. It wants to be in football on a daily basis. Coming up every morning with a smile on your face when you drive over that bridge, just seeing what you're going to be working on every day, and obviously the staff that you're going to be dealing with every day, that it's just, it excites you. And obviously the biggest thing is the calibre of players you're dealing with, world-class players, multi-million-pound players. But to be fair, I don't treat players any different, if it's Clyde or Crawley or here. I just do my best to get on with everybody. I'm a good man managing guy, and I can normally find myself getting good relationships with most of the people I work with.
You mentioned the players there, of course, Ebo. Is there any that stand out to you so far, like friendship-wise and being kind to you?
There's a few, to be fair, every one of the players, even the 21s and the 18s, that I've got a good camaraderie with everybody. Obviously, Barnsley's a different character altogether. He's been good. Connor Roberts, Josh Cullen, Big Joe Worrell, obviously ex-Rangers player. He's been brilliant. Obviously knows he's been for Scotland. And Kyle Walker's been absolutely outstanding. He's just such a nice guy. They're all nice guys. And I just thank them for obviously welcoming me in the way they have. Obviously they know I work away from home. And they'll come and phone me or take me out for dinner or invite me out, out for days out and that. So it's hat off to them all, and like I said, it's a great place to work and everybody gets on really well.
It's a great story, of course, having to leave home, leave friends, family behind, as you said, moving to England, to Burnley. It's far away from home, can we say. How have Burnley as a club welcomed you here? Of course, you touched on it there, but how much does it mean to you to be welcomed with open arms from not only the players, the staff and everyone involved with the club?
Mate, they've been like for the day dot when I applied for the job. The head operations manager, Matt Williams, he was different class. For my first application process to then having my online interview and then face to face when I eventually came in here, they've just been different class for the word go. And then when obviously I finally came in and started, everybody's just so welcome. It's just like one big family, to be honest with you. I know you get it in a lot of, well, every team you go to, it's like a big family. But at here, it just seems slightly different, like a wee bit better, because everybody's on the same page and want the same goal.
Most fans don't see what goes on behind the scenes. What's a typical day look like for you, and what challenges may you face?
Typical day is just like coming into work like anybody else go to work, but we're just in a good position where we're coming into working football every day. So it's just get things ready for the players turning up. Players will turn up, making sure everybody's got what they need for going out to do their training. Then have breakfast with the lads, a wee bit of camaraderie happening in the morning. It's always good for everybody. And then it's the players out in the pitch, do their session, then back in, have lunch, then players will do what they need to do, gym work or whatever, and then obviously myself and my kit staff will just start getting things prepared from the Monday for the following game at the weekend.
Yeah, of course, you're working with top class, world class players that play in the English Premier League week in, week out. You know, they're very popular, very famous. Any players that stand out for their strange routines or superstitions?
There's probably some I couldn't say in camera, but no, not really. Some boys will prefer certain socks, some boys will prefer certain underwear, they're like their own underwear, or some will have, like Barnsley's get his oddball ones that's all funny pants, so I just all wee things like that, but there's nobody's got like mega superstitions. But like I say, some will prefer sports socks to like normal football socks, some will prefer cut socks, just all your usual stuff really that any football player would sort of do.
Finally, to end, what advice would you give someone who wants to work behind the scenes in football?
If it's football you want to be in, just go for it. Like I said, I've made a lot of sacrifices, so you need to be prepared to make a lot of sacrifices because it's a lot of time. You spend a lot of time with these people, with the club, travelling, training. So if you're anyone that's serious about it, then go and give it your best shot, but be prepared to make sacrifices and a mega commitment.
Thanks very much for your time, Will.
No bother, nice to see you, mate.